Record. Welcome to West Virginia and Commonplace. Today I have with me Amanda Stevens from downtown Parkersburg. They are an entity in Parkersburg that is there to help promote Parkersburg and to build it up. So here's a little fact about Parkersburg. Parkersburg is the fourth largest city in the state. It is the Parkersburg, Marietta, Vienna metropolis area. The population is 31K. That's as the last 2010 census. The city the city stretches out fairly far. It touches Belpre, Ohio, and it also matches up with Marietta. So that's why we are called the MOV. So Amanda, please tell us a little bit about yourself and please tell us about downtown Parkersburg.
Could you repeat that last question you said?
Yes. Could you tell us about yourself, Amanda, and tell us about downtown Parkersburg and how you got involved with them?
Okay. I actually have been here on the staff of downtown PKB for almost 2 months. So I am very new to this position. However, I am not brand new to the program and the organization of downtown PKB, as I have worked in the downtown for the last several years. So I have actually collaborated with this organization through my past jobs. So when I came here, I knew a little bit. I knew about obviously the promotions and the events and the marketing side. What is brand new to me are the behind the scenes things that most people don't see on an everyday basis. And that is the downtown design aspect, which that's more things as in like a dog park, a pedlet, a parklet, a wayfinding sign. So there's that aspect. And then there's the economic development side. And we're actually in a very unique position here because we share an office space with the Wood County Economic Development Authority. So it's a great partnership to have and to have the resources of us being able to go back and forth with each other and help one another and to know what's going on with economic development and different incentives that are available to businesses that are wanting to develop and prosper in our downtown area. So we are actually a member of the National Main Street Program, and that the National Main Street Program follows the 4-point approach, which I just hit on 3 of them. The other one is organization, and that comes in our structure, our executive committee and things like that.
Okay, so it's more than just a revitalization of the downtown area. It's way more than just that. So when you think of downtown Parkersburg, because you're a native, what comes to mind when you think of downtown Parkersburg, just to give the audience just a little bit of imagination of what downtown Parkersburg means to you and what it's like?
Well, throughout my life, it's always been the place where all the parades happen. It's been where the Parkersburg homecoming happened. It's where the rivers come together. We actually live at the confluence of the Ohio and the Kanawha River, Little Kanawha River. And so anytime there's a boat activity or events, fireworks, it always centers around the Point Park where the confluence of the rivers are. So I think of, and then naturally the courthouse is down here. Our government buildings are all here. And then there are 2 huge employers in downtown Parkersburg, and that's the Bureau of Fiscal Service and then Highmark. So a lot of times, you know, oh, my aunt so-and-so works downtown. I mean, they employ several thousand people. So those are the things that I think of traditionally when I think of downtown Parkersburg.
Okay. Now, what are some attractive points to coming down to downtown Parkersburg to do business, have lunch? What are some attractive points to coming downtown?
Well, as I mentioned, we have a nice riverfront that's called Point Park. There are, I believe, between Memorial Day and Labor Day, you can take a sternwheel boat from the Point Park to Blennerhassett Island, and that's a historic state park. And most people that I talk to that are here from, you know, out of state, out of town, that's the most common tourist attraction here. That's our biggest. And with that, there's a Blennerhassett Museum, the Blennerhassett Hotel. And then we also have the Oil and Gas Museum. And this is something exciting that's coming next year. We are actually getting a children's museum that's going to be called Discovery World on Market. So we're going to have a world-class children's museum right here on Market Street. And I think that is going to be a catalyst of change. I mean, like most downtowns, at one time, this was where most of the stores were. This was where people went and spent their Saturdays and did their shopping, or, this is where they bought all their clothes, they saw all their friends. So we do have some attractions down here. We also have an arts district. We have the Actors Guild, and it's right across the street from the Parkersburg Arts Center, which I have to say that we were just part of the funding of a beautiful mural. If you're in Parkersburg at all and you drive down 8th Street and you cross Market, you will see on the side of the Parkersburg Arts Center a beautiful mural. It's called a Good Space mural, and it's representative of our community, and it's just a beautiful thing. We also have the Wood County Society is also at that intersection, and they opened what they call the Art Beat Studio. And the clients of Wood County Society are the actual artists, and they have a store that you can shop around, and you can even purchase some of their art. And then also Arts Bridge and the Children's Museum are all right there in that strip. So for such a small town, we really have a pretty significant arts district. And then down more on our end, you have a lot of what you think of with downtown. We have a lot of banks down here. We have a hospital, the courthouse. So we have attorneys' offices. We have some government offices. So then, of course, you have, your typical downtown. But we have several restaurants. And this is something that a lot of people don't realize. When you actually stop and count the restaurants in downtown Parkersburg, the last time I checked, I believe was last week, we have 16 restaurants in downtown Parkersburg. So that is also a significant amount for a small town.
Yeah, that is quite a bit. And not to name too many, like you have TCB, you have all kinds of stuff, Unity Cafe, all kinds of stuff that's right around in that area. Now, getting deeper into downtown PKB. So I'll go through the questions real quick, but I'll just leave it like this. I want to know how the audience can help, how people can get involved, where your website's at, these type of things, so that we can know more about what you guys do.
Absolutely. We have a very active social media. If anyone follows us on Facebook, it's Downtown PKB. And we not only list and promote our events, but you can also see what other downtown events are happening. We have a website. It is downtownpkb.com. And in the top right corner of it, there is a little sandwich board that if you click on it, it leads you to the other pages. We also are on Instagram.
Okay, definitely. Because on Instagram, that's like the big thing. Like that's where you guys gain traction with me, because I looked over everything that I seen there. Then I eventually went over to the website and I was like, wow. Now let's talk about the major events that you guys promote yourself.
Yes. Well, I'll go in order of where they are at coming up on the calendar.
Okay.
Right now, we're in the middle of promoting Small Business Saturday, which over the years, everyone became familiar with Black Friday. We know that's the big shopping event the day after Thanksgiving. Well, we put a huge emphasis on what they call Shop Small Saturday. It's the day after Black Friday. It's the day that we remind people to shop locally, shop small businesses. So we are what is called a neighborhood champion. We provide a lot of promotional material for the downtown businesses that are going to participate in that Saturday. Posters, window clings, stickers, shopping bags, all types of things to help them advertise and promote Shop Small Saturday. Then we have Winterfest, which is going to be Saturday, December 4th. And Winterfest is a family festival. It's directly following the Parkersburg Christmas Parade. The Christmas Parade starts at 2 o'clock and it goes down Market Street. And the parade kind of spills into our festival. And the festival has live entertainment, food trucks, hot chocolate. We have a train for children. We have activities, where people can make crafts, coloring pages, different activities like that. And then the event has also the city's tree lighting ceremony, and it concludes with fireworks. So it's just a really nice winter festival. And Santa Claus is there. Santa Claus will be in the city building. Okay. So that's what's directly coming up. And then when we look ahead, it takes a great deal of planning to put on the Taste of Parkersburg.
Yes.
Yes, it's our biggest event. And it was not able to take place the last 2 years because several thousand people gather in a small area. So we played it safe and didn't have the event for the last 2 years. It is back in 22, and it is already scheduled for Saturday, June 4th. So it will be at Bicentennial Park and the Blennerhassett Hotel. They are, they help us with it. And so it is right there on the corner here on Market Street. And if people who follow our Facebook page, our website, you will see when tickets become available to purchase. Taste of Parkersburg involves many, many food vendors, wine and beverage vendors, a lot of wineries, independent wineries are represented there. And when you purchase a ticket, you can go in and you sample a taste of Parkersburg. You can sample the different restaurants, the different wineries, and it's a great place to network and mingle with your friends. It's just a really nice event with live music and lots of food. And so that takes place on Saturday, June 4th. Also back this year, we have a Point Park concert series on the river, where what we typically do is we have cover bands, tribute bands, where they, in the past we've had Michael Jackson tribute band, Elton John, we've had concerts that center around, the one artist. And the way they're positioned on the river, you can either come and sit in a lawn chair and watch, or you can bring your boat and watch from the riverside. That event also has food trucks. It also has alcohol vendors. And that also brings in several thousand people. So those are back, and they are the first Friday of June, first Friday of July, first Friday of August.
Oh man, that's going to definitely be exciting.
Yeah.
Now let's talk a little bit about what you guys do. You have the downtown selfie stations, the light post flower baskets, and the pole banners. How do you make proposals to get this stuff started, and how do you get it to fruition after that?
Well, as a part of our design committee, that's one of the arms, downtown design. That's one of the 4 arms of Main Street USA. And it is a process where you have to find out, because of the different city codes, you have to talk to city council, you have to talk to the mayor, and you have to get permission. You have to find out, what do you need an application for? What do you need a permit for? It's very important to not get the cart before the horse. You got to do careful planning to make sure that you contact the proper channels to do these projects, because you don't want to make a bunch of promises only to find out that they're just not feasible, or, because of safety issues, you can't put something here or there or otherwise. So we do, like, at the moment, we have veterans banners, for the whole month of November to, honor Veterans Day, the veterans. We had a wonderful response. So when you drive down Market Street, you see over 30 veterans, local people. Their pictures are on the banners. From May to October, we have flower baskets that hang down Market Street, and those are sponsored. And then we also, we worked last year, downtown PKB worked with the Art Beat Studio that I mentioned from Wood County Society. And their artists made these beautiful metalwork flowers and butterflies, and they are placed throughout different intervals along Market Street, and they just really look beautiful. Those are the types of projects that clean up an area. You want it to be visually appealing. I mean, if you want people to consider opening a business in your downtown, you have to give them reasons to want to be down here. I mean, is it visually appealing? What assets does the downtown have that we want to focus on, that we want to bring attention to? So, if there's a spot that is really kind of torn up and needs some attention, we try to make that a focus of the design committee to say, how can we spruce up this corner to make it more appealing to businesses, so that you're benefiting not only the businesses that are here, but also the people that you want to bring down. So you have to try to tie in the economics with the design.
Okay. Now, can you tell us a little bit about these downtown selfie stations? Because I know those things, like my son, he came up from Charleston, and they don't have anything like that down there. So him coming up here to Parkersburg and him seeing this, he was really amazed. And the first thing, because every kid's about a telephone or some type of technology now.
Yeah.
So he's popping up and doing that. So could you tell the audience a little bit about that too?
Yes. The selfie stations are a fruit of the Arts and Culture Committee. Those are one of the things that we have 9 now completed selfie stations, and they are throughout the downtown. One of them, for example, is a trolley, because at one time there were lots of regular trolley routes through the downtown. So we found a nice location to put a life-size mural of a trolley, but it's not just a mural, it is a selfie station. And they are notated by, we have markers on them that number them and say the title of the piece of artwork, and who designed the artwork, who installed the mural. So as I said, we have 9 of them, and we are planning to continue that and put more of these mini murals throughout the downtown.
Okay. Now, with everything that you have going on, how can people get involved to like help out? Like, how can they sponsor, donate, or give some of their time to help you guys?
Well, we have something that's called a partner program. So if you're an individual or a business and you want to be a partner of Downtown PKB, you can go to our website, and there's information, like I mentioned, on the homepage. There's a little sandwich board to click on that gives you options, and you'll find how to sign up for the partner program. It alerts partners to early sale of tickets to our events. They get a chance to be, we have a newspaper column, and we mention them in our newspaper column. We promote them on Facebook. We even offer consulting services to some of the levels. There are several different opportunities for that. If you wanted to be just an event volunteer, we sometimes pass out volunteer forms at our larger events that you can fill out if you're interested, with your email address, your phone number, what type of volunteering. There's different categories of volunteering based on your skill set. So for example, Taste of Parkersburg, that's a good place to pick up a volunteer form. And I really quick want to mention, there's a couple events that we just finished that I didn't mention in our event section.
Okay.
We do an annual event at Halloween called Monster Mash. And it is typically a large family event, and it is like a street party for Halloween, and it's a lot of fun. We bring the Thrill the World dancers that dress like zombies and do the Michael Jackson Thriller dance, and then we also participated with Arttoberfest. And there's another program that there are a group of men who are in recovery here in Parkersburg. They're from a facility called Recovery Point.
Out there off Emerson.
Yes. And so through the United Way and through Downtown PKB, we have a group of these men that are called the Downtown Ambassadors. And it's where many times a part of these recovery programs is community service. That's one of the steps they have to complete. Well, that works perfectly with the types of projects that we have downtown, because a lot of times it's a matter of, who are we going to have to do it? Who's available to do this? Who wants to volunteer? So they have put in many hours over the last few years doing beautification projects to our downtown, like planting mums. They planted mums for us this fall.
Okay. So that's real verse that you have all this stuff involved. Now, tell me though, inside of everything you do, what is the most rewarding thing for you inside your job? Because you have a really like I don't know if you understand the magnitude of what you do, but like, I travel all over the state. I go through the 55 counties at some point with the normal job that I do. Parkersburg is one of those places. These are the cities you hear about: Morgantown, Fairmont, Charleston, Huntington, Parkersburg. You hear about the other places, Beckley, but we're not going to talk about Beckley right now. Like, how does it make you feel being in your role? Because you're a vital part of the brand and the awareness of Parkersburg.
I'm thrilled to be here. As I said at the beginning, I've only been here 2 months. And so I've barely got my foot in the door. And those 2 months have been spent trying to wrap my head around the Main Street approach, the 4 points, and how equal attention needs to be given to all 4 points. Like, I can't spend all my time doing event planning and event ideas, because that's only 1/4 of what we do. So for me, I've been trying to understand the Main Street approach. And then the other side is trying to get acquainted with the people, the key players who make things happen. For example, let's take Taste of Parkersburg, for example. I'm meeting with 3 different people this week just to try to understand what all goes into making that event happen. So I love people, I love networking, and I get really excited and passionate about the revitalization of Parkersburg. So for me, getting to network with other people who have a common goal with me of helping Parkersburg reach its potential, I get really excited about, what can we do? How can we do it? How can we work together? How can we tie that in all of this into the same cause. So that for me that's important to me and I love it.
Okay, now I do have a question. Is the downtown throwdown coming back?
Yes, yes, it is. The downtown throwdown is going to be back in September. That's the month we typically have it.
And could you enlighten the audience a little bit about it?
Yes, the downtown throwdown is similar in nature to the Taste of Parkersburg. It's more casual. Taste of Parkersburg, you see a lot of it's a, I'm going to say, a dressier event. Downtown throwdown is more there's barbecue, there's beer, music. It's a lot of fun, and it's basically a fall version of Taste of Parkersburg. It's not quite as big of an event, but it's still on a larger scale, and I'm anxious to learn more about that. And I'm sure that if I talk to you a year from now, I'll have way more to say about it.
Yeah, most definitely. We'll
Once
definitely have to have you back.
once I get a year under my belt and have a better understanding from the inside of what it looks like, that'll be good.
Yeah, most definitely. We'll definitely have to have you back on for the simple fact, like Parkersburg. Everyone knows that I live between Charleston and Parkersburg, but Parkersburg is technically home, so that's why like I was so thrilled that you were able to do this interview and all that other stuff. So going deeper into things, I always like to do this inside the show, and this doesn't matter who the guest is. Is there anything that we missed in this conversation that you would like to point out to the audience? Because sometimes, with questions and going back and forth, there's something really important that you want to talk about and you don't necessarily, doesn't always get to the table. So did we miss anything?
I'm sure that we have, and I think it's because, as I said, just coming in, there's so much to this role that I'm still trying to learn what the priorities are and what the, what all of the key points are for me. I feel like with everyone getting back to what we all call the new normal post pandemic, which I realize that we're still in, the pandemic, but as things kind of reach a new normal, I think that one good thing that's come from it is every town, regardless of the size and population, is having to take a really close look at what defines their community. And I think that when people get all the festivals and all of the events back up full force and running again, I think that people are going to be a little pickier about what they spend their time doing, because everyone had that time off and the time working from home. Not everyone, but a great deal of the population. So I think that steps following something like a global pandemic are really crucial. I think that people are going to be more focused on what they don't want to spend their time doing, what they do want to spend their time doing. So I think that it's important that we as an organization hear what people want to see in their downtown.
So just speaking on the pandemic and stuff, do you think it's going to be more or less an issue now? Because like I have to be honest, like in my travels and places I go, my job, I travel 100%. And it's usually out of state. And when it's in state, like I said, it's all 55 counties. So I could be here and I could be in Moorefield the next day. So like when I'm home and I'm in the Parkersburg area, like the things that attract me, I still love to go to Bicentennial Park. I like to go see the Christmas lights, different stuff like that. I love to come downtown. I like to take a stroll down there, go eat at my favorite place that's downtown. I won't name them at the moment because they're going to be on the show later on in the next few months. But to you, like, are you even being choosy about the things that you go out and do at the moment?
Well, I was for a very long time, but in all honesty, I've had my vaccines and I have had COVID. So I kind of feel like I'm back to doing most of my normal activities, because I feel that, I am personally, I'm back to it. But I understand that our society as a whole has to still play it safe and be very careful. Me personally, I'm doing my normal stuff.
Okay. Now with downtown PKB, it's you guys, and there's a slew of other people that are involved with the whole area of Parkersburg, but you guys are downtown. Bicentennial Park. I'd like to ask you this because everybody has a memory of Bicentennial Park. My first memory comes, I moved here from Virginia in 2006 to Charleston, and we were just traveling up to Parkersburg just to go eat for some reason. And I went to Bicentennial Park. To me, we have the best park in West Virginia in that park. Point Park's cool. I love it. And I know it's in Fallout, but Bicentennial Park is my favorite park. Do you have any good memories there?
I do, but this is really funny for me. I was in a singing group for several years, and we used to perform there a few times each summer. So I can't help but not think about that when I'm there. And of course, what's different now is back then it didn't have the really nice stage and lights that it has now. So it's actually come a long way. So, and that's where we have a lot of our events, and it's a nice green space right here in the middle of downtown. And it's adjacent to so many things. It's in a very convenient location. And it's just nice to have a park where we can have events right in the heart of downtown.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just one of my favorite places. Now, we're going to just do a quick scenario. If I'm a person that's traveling through West Virginia, because most people plan their trips, if they're going to Cleveland, they're going to come past Parkersburg if they come up from Kentucky or somewhere like that. What would be my first stop when I come into Parkersburg?
Hmm. I really I like Blennerhassett Island. I mean, that's where I would send someone who was just coming through the area and they'd never been there. That's where I would suggest someone go. And you can purchase your tickets at the museum down by the flood wall, the entrance to Point Park. That's the first thing that I would suggest somebody do. And then the next thing is we have a lot of great restaurants. We don't have much retail. We don't have a ton of retail down here, but we have a lot of options for dining. We have Parkersburg Brewing Company. We have
Yes,
the cocktail bar, the Blennerhassett Hotel, Make Me a Pizza. We really have a lot. We have Chom's,
that's
Third
my
Street
favorite.
Deli. Yeah, there are just so many nice places to eat down here, and it's a variety too. It's not all like fancy, expensive dining. I mean, you can have pizza. There really is something for everyone with the dining down here.
Okay, okay. Now, going a little bit further into this, inside the show, we always ask people this. I had a lady on the show that goes out of her way to go get these paintings from like Goodwill. She puts rhinestones on them and then she sells them to people. That's like one of her things. So I always ask everybody a question. If you have a secret talent that no one knows about or a secret that no one knows about, could you please tell us on this show? Because we want to be more personable with the audience. And that way they get to know a little bit more about you. I'll give an example for me. I travel all over the area and I don't know why we use Moorfield. I guess it's because it's got the most mountains and stuff. Over in the eastern part of West Virginia, I can't swim, but I keep someone with me that can swim. So I travel to all these extreme places, and then sometimes you'll see weird pictures. You'll see me at the beach in other places, and people are like, "You can't swim, but you're in the water." Yeah, because I got somebody that'll save me. So that's my secret. I can't swim.
Well, it's really funny that you say that because yesterday I was speaking at Rotary about with a consultant that's had been doing a housing study for us, and I shared a secret talent there that I had, and it was really random. And my maiden name is DeBar, and my family has a trucking company here and a gravel yard. And so I worked there for many years. And so I have a rare talent that I know every type of gravel and limestone and what it's used for. So I feel like that's a strange and unusual little known talent that I have.
Yeah, that really is. I mean, that's amazing.
If
Like, so
someone holds
you
up
know,
a rock, I can tell them if it's limestone, gravel, sandstone, riprap, what it's used for.
that's
So
crazy.
that's my hidden talent.
Okay. Now, before we wrap this up, I'd like to go back to some key points real quick because we have listeners that come into the middle of the episode, so they miss certain things. Um,
Mhm,
Once again, could you tell everybody where they can find you on social media
mhm. Our
and your
Facebook
website?
is, yes, our Facebook is Downtown PKB, and we're also on Instagram, and our website is downtownpkb.com. And like I said, there's a little sandwich board at the top right corner that can help you navigate the page.
Right. And those navigations are home, about, downtown, news, plus events. Get involved and donate. Amanda, I
Yes,
want to thank you so much for coming on West Virginia and Commonplace. And before we get out of here, here's the thing. Behind every great person that presents any type of organization, there are people. I'd like you
yes.
please to give a shout out to any and everyone whom has helped you along the way or as a part of this big thing that you guys got going into 2022.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I could make a list a mile long, but I will start with our events and marketing manager. Her name is Jessica Strickler. And with her being, she was already here when I came. So Jessica has helped me tremendously. Our board president, Lindsay Pearsall, she has also helped me immensely. And then the past executive director of Downtown PKB, her name is Wendy Shriver. And she has been so helpful in teaching me the ropes and helping make this a smooth transition. The board of Downtown PKB has just been great to me. And also, Wendy isn't far away, and maybe you can get her on your show sometime because she is the executive director of the new children's museum that I mentioned that's coming to Market Street. It's called Discovery World on Market. So maybe Wendy would come on sometime and talk about that. So
Yeah, there's definitely. So do a quick recap over some events. November 27th, Small Business Saturday. Can you give us a quick little thing about what we should be doing in downtown Parkersburg?
yes, on Saturday, November 27th, come downtown and shop small, shop local. There are going to be several special deals going on. Grab breakfast, grab lunch at one of our downtown restaurants. If you buy something, if you get your card punched at Artsbridge, the Parkersburg Arts Center, or at the Art Beat Studio, your name goes into a drawing for a gift basket of art supplies. There are other specials and events at different places that are going to be open. The Blennerhassett Hotel has their Festival of Trees that the United Way puts on. So it is full of beautifully decorated Christmas trees. So come downtown, shop local, and support the businesses that are here.
Okay, and then December 4th, Winterfest. Please give them a quick synopsis of it so that they can know for the people that didn't listen to the beginning of the episode.
Yes, December 4th, come downtown for the Christmas parade at 2:00, and immediately following the Christmas parade at Bicentennial Park, you will see food trucks, hot chocolate, there will be live entertainment, there will be activities for kids and families. Santa Claus will be there. There will be train rides for kids. And there will be the city's tree lighting and fireworks. And the fireworks are right at 6:30, which is the conclusion of the festival.
Okay. And lastly, if you guys decide to get a billboard on Route 50, 47, 95, anywhere that, or 77 that runs through Parkersburg, what would that billboard say?
Downtown PKB, this is the place.
Okay, and I like that. And Amanda, I want to thank you for taking your time to come on West Virginia Commonplace and to talk to us about the great city of Parkersburg. I don't know how many times I need to say this to people. Definitely make Parkersburg one of your stops in West Virginia. You don't always have to just cut through and go around Ravenswood. Come to Parkersburg.
That's right. Thank you, JR. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I any opportunity I get to talk about Parkersburg, I love it. So
all right, so thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm JR for West Virginia Commonplace, and we're signing off.